is up, everyone? DPX here. Welcome back to another episode of Chillin With The Miikcast. Today, we got a really big... We got a big episode. We'll probably have some more people joining us later. The newest member of the Miikcast, Ward, might join us later to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. We finally got our big blowout of the console. Yesterday we had the Direct and a whole bunch of other stuff revealed about it after the Direct. And today joining me is, of course, we got Slash with the big-ass headphones.
What's up, gamers? We
got Greg working out.
Hi. Yeah, this is part 2. I did part 1 before I joined you guys. I know this is a little weird, but please enjoy the video or something.
And then I don't know what he's talking about, by the way. But and then we got ML. What's up, ML?
Hello.
And then
How's everyone doing?
And then we got Zachary Attacks. What's up, Zach?
I'm here. I just want to say Slash's headphones are not that big.
Well, now they're not, but yeah. So before we get started, there's a lot of negativity around the Switch 2 right now, and it's mainly because of the pricing of the games, and we will definitely talk about that, but first we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct as a whole. The price was not talked about in the Direct, so therefore we will be reviewing the Direct by itself, because the price of the games and of the console was not a part of that. So you can't factor that into your enjoyment of the Direct. That's the way I see it, at least. And so, yeah. Anyways, we're just going to get right into this. Immediately, the Direct starts with Mario Kart World. And, right off the bat, I think it looks amazing. There are 24 racers. That was, we kind of knew that when we watched the original trailer. 24 racers. And we're seeing, just how many characters there are. You got understandable newcomers, you got my boy Chargin' Chuck is in there, Hammer Bro is in there, Shut Up Slash, and then you got, but then you have characters like Moo Moo from Moo Moo Meadows, or you got, the fucking Crab, or the Bat, or the Snowman, they're putting, everything, every character in this game. But then, that's not all. It's gonna be open world. An open world Mario Kart. You can basically drive anywhere on the track, and, how scores work, or how, races work, basically instead of it loading you from one race to the next race, and you kind of just drive over to the next track. That's really cool. And then there's also a free roam where you just drive around an open area, and there's also parkour, there's wall jumping, and there's grinding and all that. Absolutely amazing showing from Mario Kart. This is a launch title for the console, and I think it is a great launch title for the console. It could end up being bad, but on the surface, it looks like it's Mario Kart's already a guaranteed system seller. So, this is probably the most anticipated Mario Kart game we've gotten ever. So to pack this with the Switch 2 at launch, I think is a great idea. Greg, thoughts on Mario Kart?
I'm really, really impressed, honestly. Wait, did I just... What just happened? Because it says Farmerge Valley. Did I touch that?
I might have accidentally clicked something.
Yeah, nice one.
Bruh. But back to topic, I'm really impressed with the game. It looks amazing. It's definitely going to help the system in that day one launch window, considering it's bundled with the system until the fall, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'm very happy.
And let me pull up a list of all the characters playable in this game.
Yeah, because there is a lot.
All Mario Kart World characters. And by the way, I don't think any list I find is going to have all the characters that you can spot in the trailers. But
the skeleton fish, the bone fish.
Yes, I got the list right here. We got Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Toad, Bowser, Koopa Troopa, Wario, Waluigi, Rosalina, Pauline, Donkey Kong, Shy Guy, King Boo, Birdo, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Baby Rosalina,
Baby.
Bowser Jr., Toadette, Lakitu, Dry Bones, Goomba, Nabbit, Wiggler, Hammer Bro, the Moo Moo the cow, and then it lists the Alright, you fucking suck, IGN. That did not list every character. But,
Shocking. IGN sucks. Who
I
could've
know.
seen this coming?
We'll go Nintendo everything. Let's hope they,
They'll know.
let's hope they have everything. But, okay, so, I listed those characters. We got Goomba, Koopa Troopa, Dry Bones, Piranha Plant. I don't think I said Piranha Plant. Hammer Bro, Chargin' Chuck, Monty Mole, Pokey, Para Bitty Bud, Spike, Shy Guy, Wiggler, King Boo, Peepa, the generic ghost enemy from Super Mario 3D World, Donkey Kong, Wario, Waluigi, Nabbit, Pianta, Moo Moo the cow, the Penguin, the Sidestepper, that's the crab, the Snowman, the Swoop, that's the bat enemy, Stingby, that's the bee enemy from 3D Land, Cataquack, Cheep Cheep, Fishbone, Dolphin, Rocky Wrench, Coin Coffer, and Conquidor. Like, I didn't even know some of these. So I was just gonna say, yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to point out that in an unreleased video, I said that I would love to see Pokey as a playable character, and now he is here. So
that video might be coming out soon.
Yeah, Slash will main Pokey.
That video is coming out either like next Monday or next Friday. If you're watching this the day it comes out.
Yeah, but like some of these enemies, some of these characters, I didn't even know that they fucking had names. Like, and they're playable characters. Like the Moo Moo, like that's crazy. But
it's Otis from Barnyard.
Of course.
The Mii's are still there because I gotta be Zach.
I'm sure the Mii's will be there. Anyways,
no mention of the Mii's though, right? Like anywhere.
That is true, but like, I think they'll still have the Mii's. But Slash, thoughts on Mario Kart World as a whole?
Yeah, I love Mario Kart. Don't ask me when the last time I played Mario Kart is, because it was a while ago. It might actually have been when we filmed the video. But I love Mario Kart, and I'm excited. I always get like a little scared when I see like brand new things introduced, because I'm like, well, this is like half the thing, so if they fucked it up, then it's gonna make it difficult to enjoy. But I have faith. Actually, I have less faith than I did about like 5 days ago, but I have faith that they'll nail it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure this game's gonna be great. It's just there's something surrounding the game that we're gonna talk about later. But
I mean, yeah. Hey man, I think the bundle's the move, to be honest.
I don't give a fuck. I'm getting that bundle by hook or by crook.
Like,
not literally. Don't like sue me. But
yo, chat, clip that shit, yo.
I just realized saying that I'm gonna buy something by crook can be interpreted like really badly. But
let's clip that.
Yeah.
Yo, the only thing is that obviously the game is the price to try to get people to get the bundle. So it's like, oh, we're giving you such a great deal on the but whatever, we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to get the bundle, but I'm gonna have to get the bundle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
ML, thoughts on Mario Kart World?
That looked really good. I like all the new characters they're adding, and a lot of cool additions, but like the whole thing around it. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite new character, out of curiosity? Everyone.
I don't have a...
For me, me, Greg, and someone else. Mad T. I don't know if you guys haven't met him, but like he's appeared on on a couple of my streams before. We joked around, and I said that I'm gonna main the Parabitty Bud, and he's like, dude, I will be so pissed if you beat me as a Bitty Bud. Like that's why it's funny. Oh no, it was the bat that I said I'd win as. But I might just main Chargin' Chuck because that's my boy.
Gotta go with Pokey.
Pokey, yeah, you gotta go all the way with Pokey.
I just stick to Rosalina.
Rosalina.
Yo, chat, clip that.
Greg, who do you mean?
Probably the cow, just for shits and
The
giggles.
cow.
Hell
I
yeah.
also like Sidestepper. That's such a weird pick. The crab. Zach, who would you main in Mario Kart?
Probably Mario.
No.
New character, my guy.
Well, to be fair,
probably the cow.
Hell yeah.
we didn't tell ML to pick a new character, but sure.
But he did.
No, he said Rosalina.
Oh, fuck you.
By the way, I'm going through the trailer right now on my phone. There's like a shot. I happen to pause it here. There's a shot where like Chargin' Chuck is driving, and he gets bombarded.
He's charging, bro.
He gets bombarded by a bigger Chargin' Chuck. So stage hazards that are in the courses could also be playable characters. That's interesting. And yeah, like I'm just going through the like, goddamn, look at that. That map is crazy. I'm kind of going through the trailer, just seeing what like else is there to mention. Every character's got like an alternate skin, and that kind of counts as a separate character. Like, it doesn't take another spot on the roster, but like, let's just say we do a big race. Like, me and Slash can both play as Mario, but in different costumes.
Oh, of course. My favorite character.
Yeah. So these costumes look really cool.
You look really cool.
And yeah, 24 Racers, there is a big video idea I floated by Greg and also Mad T of TAC, and I'll have to talk about that off camera. But yeah, like it's something big.
Stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say.
I wonder what it could possibly be, given the context that we just received.
But yeah, Zach, we never asked you for your thoughts. Thoughts on Mario Kart World?
Pretty fog. But I was excited for other games that didn't get announced, and it's really sad.
Well, you also gotta understand this.
Too much.
This is the Switch 2's like first ever direct. Like, they're not gonna give you everything at this direct. You know, they're gonna give you like the launch window games. So, and I feel like a lot of people did expect quite a lot from this direct, but like Mario Kart, like, it's kind of crazy. Mario Kart, the Mario Kart 8 came out in 2014. That was 11 years ago. So I'm excited for this game. Definitely like a perfect game to throw in at launch.
I'm
Pricing.
excited. Sorry, you go.
No, I was gonna say pricing is. We'll talk about that, but you know, at the same time,
Put a count on how many times we've said we're going to talk about that later.
yeah, we're gonna have to. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to ignore that, especially when we're talking about this game. But you know, we do have to talk about that later. Not yet, though. But yeah, I'm excited for this game. So, ML, what were you gonna say?
I'm excited for this game, but there's like other stuff that we saw down. I'm more excited for.
Okay.
That's why I wasn't about it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, this was probably my highlight, but like the thing we'll talk about later, that's another mention.
You know, I think you already know, bro.
Yeah, like the thing, like the price has probably actually dampened my excitement a bit, to where I think probably another announcement that we'll get to later is probably something I'm more excited about. But yeah, any final thoughts on Mario Kart 9? I really just called it Mario Kart 9.
Wow.
Mario Kart.
Wow.
Also, there's gonna be a direct for Mario Kart World on April 17th. So yeah. So final thoughts.
Yes, that's just the final thought.
Okay. Next up, before we even got to like any more games, we get introduced to like these three younger guys, kind of like hosting this direct, which I think is interesting. You know, you were getting some newer, younger blood in this, in the Nintendo Directs, which I think that's cool. You know, kind of like pass the reins, because I think like some like a lot of the people from Nintendo are probably trying to retire at this age, at this era. Right, like Furukawa, I don't think will be the president of Nintendo by the end of this gen. And Miyamoto Greg, me and you talked about this earlier. Miyamoto's probably going to retire, like, not in the not too... Here, let me make you guys louder, by the way. In OBS, you guys were, like, not that loud. But, so... Yeah, no, it's just cool to see these three guys that, like, they seem younger, so it's just nice to see that. You gotta look at the Joy-Con 2. You got the C button, and we talked about the C button next. The C button is voice chat, or game chat, as they called it.
It's literally worse than Discord.
It's Nintendo Discord. Look, Zach, you were, like, in the, with me reacting to this. I kind of couldn't really, like, focus on this video because the stream was so off-sync the whole time. And, like, I think that's just, like, there's so many people who tuned in live to this direct. So, like, the stream crashed at one point. The syncage just got worse and worse as it went along. For this, I mean, I don't really know what to say here, really. There is one point that I heard get brought up to me, and I didn't really think about it until it was brought up to me. There's a C button on the Joy-Cons, on the controller, right? And, like, that's a button on the controller. Like, it comes packed in, and that's game chat. But... It's free until March of 2026. Until then, you need to, like, I think it's a part of the Switch Online membership.
Yeah, I think it's just the standard. Expansion will have it regardless.
So, they have a button where the functionality is locked behind a paywall. That's a little weird, don't you think? And I haven't heard that many people bring that up. Because it's weird, like, no, you don't really think about that, you know, but that is really weird that Nintendo is doing that, you know, but, yeah, I mean, like, look, it's a nice gesture, almost. It almost feels like, you know, we're probably not going to use this. We have Discord, you know,
and we even saw the functionality of it today with Nintendo Treehouse.
Yeah.
With the Switch 2 camera as well.
So we're probably not going to use this. Like, ever. Like, it is nice that they are ditching the smartphone app for voice chat. And they are doing this. This is, like, I know it's been memed on a lot. This is probably the thing from the Direct that's been memed on the most. But this is really cool. This is really cool. You know, like, Nintendo's behind Sony and Microsoft, of course, but I don't think they have, like, their own version of Discord. You know, this is definitely inferior to Discord, you know, but I think this is still cool. It's something we're not going to use, but I think it's cool. Greg, anything to say about game chat?
It's just, if you don't use Discord, good for you, but if you use Discord, I'd say avoid it.
Alright, Slash, thoughts on game chat? We can't hear you.
Is he deafened?
I muted my microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Greg. You know, it's cool that they're doing it, but you know, Discord exists and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow PlayStation and Xbox have actual Discord integration.
That's true, yeah. ML, thoughts on game chat?
It's a thing, but I would not be using Nintendo Cord. I would stick to Discord.
They can cord.
Discord.
And Zach, thoughts on game chat?
When you're sharing your screen, people can only watch it at like 5 FPS.
That's true.
Like, and then I think that's pretty funny.
And yeah. They're also coming out with the Switch 2 camera.
Yeah, which I mentioned.
Yeah, and that Zach also kind of mentioned. Slash, it looked like you're about to say something.
Okay, this isn't related at all, but James Gunn just dropped a new teaser for Superman.
Bruh.
Sick. We'll have to watch that afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that on the Switch 2. They went over game sharing. You can do game sharing for Switch 1 games. It sounds like it seemed like they mainly just talked about Switch 1 games. They didn't really say that this was a thing for Switch 2 games. I hope it is. Otherwise,
I think it is. Like the virtual game card shit we found about.
Yeah. No, but like when they talk about like download play, almost it's like sort of like download play, right? Like
Yeah, just like the DS and 3DS.
yeah, because that would make that Mario Kart idea we had a lot like easier to do. But yeah, I guess there's not much to say. That this is really cool though, very cool. Yeah. Alright, whoa, where did I go? Okay, there we go.
We're talking about the Joy-Cons now, right?
Are we? Like, I'm kind of going through... Oh, yeah, the Joy-Cons, they're magnetic now.
Interesting.
I think
Yeah,
that
no more slide rails.
Yeah, I think that was something... Like, we knew that in the original trailer, but yeah, I don't think there's much to say about this, really, but I think that's cool. And like they go over like the size of the handheld. It's bigger, HD display, double the size as well, and then smooth gameplay up to 120 FPS. This shit runs games in 4K 120. I was expecting like 4K 60 maybe, but like 4K 120. Like that is, as someone who thinks that people care a little too much about frame rates, or people pretend to care about frame rates, this is awesome, you know. And we see later with the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they look fucking amazing on this.
Can't wait to see Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on this.
No, that's one of the games that
It's gonna get a free upgrade.
Yeah,
I know, but it's Pokemon Scarlet.
Pokemon Legends is
Couple
getting
years
a
too late.
version.
Yeah. Also,
sorry.
I don't know if you were about to mention this, but there's two different modes. I thought they said, right? Like performance mode and then like
And
the
quality.
mode.
yeah,
Quality.
that's kind of like that's kind of the norm for like
For the
most.
course.
Yeah, for like
Yeah.
most.
Yeah, at
games.
least on console.
For like PlayStation,
Oh, yeah,
Xbox games, but it is new for Nintendo. So yeah, they are catching up. They showed off the control sticks. For the love of fuck, do away with Joy-Con drift. Like
They confirmed it.
Thank God.
I know.
Sensors.
But like,
Yeah, but I didn't. Wait, Joy-Con drift doesn't exist. What are you talking?
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, not on the Switch 2. They took it away on the Switch 2 finally. After sending this thing in like several times.
We'll see about that.
and then they showcased the mouse functionality for the Joy-Cons. And that is something with. I mean, we kind of like figured that out with the original trailer, and then like all the patents came out. But before that, there's a lot of people making predictions about the Switch 2. Ain't nobody predicted mouse functionality. And if you say you did, you're a liar. I saw that Slash. So yeah, so that
They
like
confirmed the mouse functionality like months ago.
that was what was that, Zach?
They confirmed the mouse functionality like months ago.
I don't think they ever confirmed it. They showed like you sliding the Joy-Con in the original
Yeah, they
trailer,
deciding.
but they didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
but a lot of people inferred. A lot of people did infer on it though.
Yeah, it was basically confirmed, but like now it's official that it's like a mouse. So that opens up the door for like a lot of like a lot of games that like you can imagine play. Like a lot of people were predicting a Mario Paint sequel here, which I think would be really cool. And you can totally do that with the mouse controls. Slash, what the fuck are you doing?
Paint.
Okay. So yeah, that's the Joy-Con. Anyone have thoughts on the mouse controls?
It's gonna open up a big door.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
where
we
this
kind of
goes.
did see it already too with like Metroid Prime 4.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you can play Fortnite with a mouse on?
Yeah,
Switch 2?
they did confirm Fortnite, but it's probably gonna mean, oh hey, you can like use the Joy-Con as like a mouse for Fortnite
Hey,
and whatever other shooter games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just going through the direct
He's
right
going
now.
through it.
So
Using the recallability.
the next game, we go to the next game, and it's we get like a tech demo for the Nintendo Switch 2 called Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. It seems like a cute little tech demo for the Switch 2 that shows like what it's capable of, what it's got. It's not. It's a paid game. It's a paid like. Like. This is like. You're like. What am I trying to say here? This screams like free packing title. Why is this not a free packing title? I don't get that. You know, this would have been like a cute thing to get to play like for free with the console when you get it. Now it's just like, well, I guess I won't play it then. It wasn't like, it's not like something an outright deal breaker. It's not like people aren't like frustrated about this, but it's just like, that's weird. Like why, you know? So yeah, and apparently it's gonna be like, there's conflicting reports on how much it is. Like some sources said it was gonna be like $5, some sources said like $6, some sources said $10. This is a weird game to charge money for. I just don't really understand.
Yeah, I think it's $5. I think we said it's like $5, right?
Yeah, I think we said that, but I don't know if that's actually the case.
We're canon. Yeah, it's just like you were saying. It feels weird. It's like when the PS5 came out, they had the,
Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, Astro Playroom.
and
then that, of course, got a bigger game, Astrobot. That became Game of the Year.
that's crazy that happened.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Sony is actually goated for that, even if they do have no games.
even if Sony is like kind of cringe sometimes, that was pretty lit.
Yeah. Yeah, and Astro's Playroom, even, like, I would have spent some money on that, you know, like if that shit was
that's
free,
like the kind
this
of
should be
game.
free, you know. But yeah, anyone thoughts on Slash kind of just gave his thoughts. Greg, thoughts on the Welcome Tour?
It's a nice idea. It should have been included, honestly. Even after we watched like the Nintendo Treehouse demo of it, like this should have been included. Like,
Yeah.
why should I pay money for like an information thing? Like, this should have been included with the console.
Mm-hmm. Zach, thoughts on the Welcome Tour?
I don't think much of it. Pretty mid.
All right.
Pretty disappointing.
Yeah, and ML, thoughts on the Welcome Tour?
It's a cute little game. It's cute. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Alright, out of curiosity, who here is gonna get the thing if it's $5? Would you get it for that price?
I have eShop money, but I might save it for better things.
Yeah, why would I get it? You know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the point.
Nintendo should be like, fuck it, this thing failed, we're including it for free now.
I mean,
Like,
literally-
I wish they would do that.
I mean, Wii Sports was free. This should be free, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
It's like it's not like
Yeah, it sounds like Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land was free. That's crazy.
it's not like it's the end of the world, but it's like it's just
I mean, yeah, just,
It's a little like ridiculous.
it feels like it's like kind of. It's not like the straw that broke the camel's back, but it's kind of like, it's a piece of straw nonetheless. It's like, well, really, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know.
yeah.
Charging like however much for games and stuff, you can't throw the consumer a bone a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah. Next up, we get a launch date for the Switch 2, June 5th, 2025. That is very soon. That is coming up.
Sooner than we
2 months. What's up?
Sooner than we all thought. I thought it would be like mid or late June, but this is pretty good.
I kind of did think it would be like early June, but even still, like actually seeing it being like this day is like, wow. Like that's coming out real soon. So yeah, I think that's good. Like you get that summer spot, the kids are coming are finishing school around that time.
And hopefully they get their hands on one.
Yeah. Let's hope that does.
Next week's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, April 9th. I hope that those pre-orders go up at a good time for me.
Yeah, same.
And
I
only
hope
me,
to be
though.
blessed.
No one else.
Yeah.
No one else, we're all screwed other than DPX.
Yeah.
PC.
Then we go into they talk about backwards compatibility. In that backwards compatibility thing, by the way, I don't know if it was in this. It is in this direct. They accidentally leaked Yoshi's Woolly World. They showed like
It was a Wii U game.
yeah, they showed a bunch of games on here and said that they're all backwards compatible. But if you look at the top, and like you guys can't see what I'm talking about, but like if you look at the top, you can see Yoshi's Woolly World. That game's not on the Switch. So this is like a screen showing a bunch of Switch games that are backwards compatible on the Switch too. So Yoshi's Woolly World is going to be a game on the Switch 1, but backwards compatible for the Switch 2. But still, like that's interesting that just got leaked here. Like, kind of bizarre that they just had a Nintendo Direct last week and they didn't announce that. But yeah, looked like you're gonna say something, Slash.
Are we sure that that's Yoshi's Woolly World and not like?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is.
Okay. That's
You can see like the bottom of the cover art.
What if it's a sequel? You know.
It's like the same. They use the same like
I figure.
box art though. And then they talk about Nintendo Switch 2 editions of games. Now this
is what I talked about a bit already.
Yeah, the first game they show us is this is a mouthful. Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch Edition plus Jamboree TV. That's the full title. Fucking awful title there, but
Yep.
it looks amazing, and they have like these really cool like new mini games where you use like the mouse and stuff like that, and it like utilizes the mic, which we didn't talk about that, but there's like a built-in mic on the Switch too, so that's cool. And it utilizes the camera if you have a camera. I think that's cool. Kind of bizarre that this is like the first game that they like, aside from Mario Kart and aside from the Welcome Tour, this is the first game they show on the Switch 2, a Switch 1 game. But still, like, this is nice. And they didn't really talk about this in the Direct, but people who have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack subscription get these upgrades, these Switch 2 upgrades for free. So if you get that higher tier, you get this upgrade for free, and you get a bunch of other ones for free. Although I heard conflicting reports, because I also heard that it's just the 2 Zelda games, but I don't know if that's true.
It might be. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo really like. There's a lot they
If they want our money, they're gonna rob us, dude.
That's not what I was trying to get at, but
I'm joking. Come on.
Well, you're not wrong. So like, but yeah, either way, this looks cool. And yeah, then they kind of go over some more Switch 2 upgrades. We get Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. The streets were saying Breath of the Wild was going to be here. The streets were not saying Tears of the Kingdom. So that's cool. And I briefly mentioned it earlier, they look amazing. They look so good on the Switch 2.
And we saw like the actual footage today.
Yeah, we saw the.
Like, you're not wrong.
We saw
Nintendo Treehouse.
the Nintendo Treehouse, and like these 2 games look so good on the Switch 2.
Like, this is what we deserve with Zelda.
Yeah. Then they talk about Zelda Notes, which is a part of like the Nintendo Switch app, where it almost like you get like the map for the game that can interact with the actual game, and you get the like actual fucking like it's almost
they give you GPS.
Yeah. Sorry, like I've kind of just been talking about like the Switch 2 edition stuff for a while, but Greg, thoughts on like on the Mario Party and the Zelda games and now just the Switch 2 editions as a whole so far? Because there's some that we didn't get to.
Mileage will vary. I'm going to be honest. Like, mileage will vary. Like, I'm happy Zelda is included. But then it's like Mario Party and Kirby, Pokemon ZA, and even Metroid Prime 4. Like, I'm very excited to see Metroid. Yeah. But as a whole, it's like a good upgrade, you know, if you haven't played these games in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just go over the rest of the upgraded games before I ask you guys. Greg, you briefly mentioned Kirby. Kirby in the Forgotten World is getting a new Switch 2 edition, and it's coming with basically a DLC chapter, Star Cross World. ML, I'm sure like you're excited for this, right?
You know damn well I am.
Yeah.
You know damn well.
Star Cross World, what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. I haven't played it like since it came out, so but it'd definitely be cool to like revisit that world and revisit, you know, like the story and shit like that. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Then we get Metroid Prime 4 is coming to the Switch 2, getting a Switch 2 edition. I think it's getting that at launch with the Switch 1 version. So it's basically it's a cross-gen game. Oh my god, this game looks so good on the Switch 2.
Yeah, it does. It can go up to 4K and it has the mouse mode.
Yes. You can basically play like keyboard and mouse with this game. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to earlier. Like, that is insane.
And Slash, since you're a loyal Metroid subscriber, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what else is there to say?
Okay.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it.
A little odd that this is now the third time we've seen Metroid Prime 4, and I'll let them have some leeway with the first time we've seen it, but a little odd that this is the second time in the span of a week that we've seen it and still no release date. That's weird. I would assume maybe we get like an October release date. That's what I'm thinking. I feel like Metroid's not like a scary game or anything, but it is like a rather dark feeling game, so I feel like you get that October release time. And lastly, I think this is the last one they showed. Pokemon Legends ZA is kind of like Metroid Prime 4 is also going to be like a cross-gen sort of game. Game still looks a little rough, like the animations do. But I wasn't going to play this game. I'm not a Pokemon guy. I know someone in here who is. I know 2 people. Actually, 3 people. I think all, like... But Zach, I'm going to ask you thoughts on what we saw from Legends ZA. Unfortunately, Zach has gotten...
Oh, I'm muted. Hi.
Okay.
That's because the thoughts are I'm going to buy a Switch within the first 2 months of release because of that.
Or you can get it, though.
Where am I going to get it?
No, like, Prey you can get it, like the Switch 2. Unless you're playing the Switch 1 version.
True.
It's okay. Zach's a content creator. They'll give him one for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we all are. Let's hope.
No, they're going to give
doubt
Zach a
Only
Switch
Zach.
too. Yeah.
They're just going to give him a Switch 2 and no one else.
that
Yeah.
you?
So those are all the games they showed. Slash, thoughts on like the Switch 2 editions that we saw?
You know, I think they picked some pretty good games, to be honest. I mean, there's some stuff, you know, I'd like to see as well that, you know, was not there. But, you know, I think they picked some great games
Yeah.
to do it. And, yeah, I you know, never mind. We'll save that for later.
After that, they said, and I quote, this is like the text that says, if you have this Nintendo Switch version of a game, you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack. Great! But yeah, and then I don't think they showed them, but there's like a list of like other games. Let me see if I can pull that up. Games.
Are you talking about the ones with the free updates?
Yeah. Do you have them?
I know ARMS, Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World, Mario U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet Violet. There's a lot, but I think it's all first-party games.
Yeah.
I'm just naming the ones from the top of my head.
And it seems like a lot of these they can add like new DLC to them through this, which has sparked some discussion about Smash. They can
They're just gonna make Smash Ultimate 2.
Wait, I need to.
Imagine getting hacked.
Okay, well, I just on pause, so no one's gonna have any context to saying "imagine getting hacked," so we're just gonna leave that in.
No context.
So, Greg, so that was the list, right? It was ARMS, Odyssey.
Yeah,
Scarlet
at least some of
Violet.
them. There's still more.
Yeah, there's gonna be more. And look, I think this is cool. I think that's cool that they're doing this. A little bizarre with the prices of this, but yeah. Anyone else thoughts on the the Switch 2 edition upgrades?
They're pretty pog.
Okay. Next up, they show us a new game that utilizes the mouse controls on the Switch 2, and it's not what I would expect. It's a game called Dragon Drive or Drag X Drive. This is definitely it wasn't a bad showing, but it was definitely a little odd. It definitely looked I guess it's cool. It's this wheelchair basketball game. Me and Zach said that it reminded us of Rocket League, but basketball, and it kind of does seem a bit like Rocket League, but basketball. But just aesthetically, it looks a little unappealing. I don't know. This was definitely one of the weaker points of the Direct for me, but I guess it could be fun. I don't know if I'm going to play this, though. But this does... Oh, I forgot to mention, we had a bingo. We had a bingo board. Or I did, at least. I did tell everyone they can use it. But, yeah, I have a bingo board. And one of those things was a new IP. This checks it off.
I thought you were going to say one of the things was a basketball game where you drive.
Can you imagine if that was one of the spaces?
That would have been crazier.
Amen.
Yeah. So, yeah, Slash, I'm going to ask you, thoughts on Dragon Drive?
Yeah, it's a game. It's not really... I don't really like sports games that much, in general. Yeah, I don't know. It just, like you were saying, it doesn't really look super appealing to me. But, I'm sure... there will be an audience, and I'm sure it's not horrible, but not my vibe. And if it's going to cost, we'll get to that later. If it's going to cost, that much money, I'm not going to purchase it, of course.
Okay. Greg, thoughts?
This is, I think, what ARMS was to the Switch 1. It hits all the same bells and whistles that ARMS did. It's, way too familiar.
But at least ARMS, had ARMS seemed interesting. This doesn't really seem interesting, I feel. But
it's like the kid who's trying really hard to be quirky, but he's just normal.
Yeah, ARMS seemed like an interesting game, and then you played it and there's not much to it. This does not seem interesting. But yeah, ML, thoughts on...
You know what they tried, honestly.
Yeah, they tried.
I'm just gonna say it like that.
ML, thoughts
well, they should have tried harder.
ML, thoughts on Dragon Drive?
I'm not getting it, but if anyone's gonna play it, sure. Knock yourself out, buddy.
And Zach.
Yep, same. Never gonna buy that game.
We're united on this, I guess.
Alright, now...
United we stand.
Now we go over to some third-party games. And by some, I mean a fucking lot of them. We lost so many third-party games were shown.
Wait, TPX.
What? You
I gotta go.
Alright. Well, Zach, thanks for stopping by. Everyone subscribe to Zachary Attacks.
Yep,
Or don't.
subscribe. You also don't. Alright, thanks for having me, TPX. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, see ya.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Zach.
Isaac.
Also, I just want to say, ML, you fucking uploaded a video while we're doing this.
We got you. We got you that. My bad.
He's got. Don't worry, he's got us.
I was multitasking.
Okay, I just like 1,000 LeBrons just went up for on ML on Dumpling Studios. Go check it out. But yeah, first game we see is Elden Ring. This was a game that we that was leaked to be coming to the Switch too. And Elden Ring Tarnished Edition is the name of the game, and it's. I think it looks really good on the Switch too. Like it's supposed to be coming out sometime this year. It has Elden Ring, and I believe it also has the DLC. That is it does.
It does.
That is an insane value right there. That is an shut the fuck up, Slash. That is an insane value. You get like this whole $60 game. It might be hard to realize, but Elden Ring was never a $70 game. But you have this whole $60 game and a $40 DLC, which by the way is a total of $100, all on here for maybe $100. We'll see, but
it's gonna be less. I'm calling it.
I know it's gonna be less, but how much less is the question. But yeah, Greg, thoughts on Elden Ring Tarnished Edition?
I'm seriously wondering how the hell I've not played Elden Ring yet, even though I have it on PS5. But I hope maybe this is the gateway, because I do want to try this game in some form at least.
You are an interesting fella who will drop like $60, $70 on a game and not play it. I wish I could just build up my backlog like that. Like I'm not making fun of you for this. Like that is.
Dude, it just also mini story time. I got it on like sale with Amazon, like I guess a few years ago, so that's why.
Slash, thoughts on Elden Ring coming to the Switch too?
Yeah, this is wow. Just wow. You know, like this is what every Nintendo was hoping for, I guess. Like this kind
Nintendo goes crazy.
Is it in a good crazy or like?
No,
yeah,
like
I think it's good, but I think the term is also Nintendi.
Fair enough.
But then there's Nintendrone, but that's the bad one.
Hey man, I mean this is what people were dreaming about. They were like, we want more third-party shit on Nintendo. And what did Nintendo do? They got the big boy game of, yeah, and it technically could have won like Game of the Year twice.
It could have, but it seems like
thank God it didn't.
The jury came to their senses with that one.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, but this is like exactly what I think all the Nintenders were asking for.
Yeah, and ML, thoughts on Elden Ring coming to the Switch too?
You're muted.
I play Elden Ring, and this does not make me want to play it more. Now you know that.
All right.
You're fake Nintendo.
Next up we get a look at Hades 2 is coming to the Switch too. This is like, I think we always knew it was coming to Xbox and PlayStation, but this is the first time we're seeing it on something that's not PC, you know. So yeah, I think it'll come out like when like the actual like official release does, like the non-early access one. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't like roguelikes, but Hades has always been like the major exception because Hades fucking slaps. So I'm excited to play Hades 2. Maybe I'll play it on Switch too. We'll see. I played
to play Hades 2 too.
So I'm gonna ignore what you just said. I played Hades 1 on the Switch 1, and I think like that was kind of like a Switch console exclusive. It was obviously on PC as well, but like it came to Switch a lot earlier than it came to PlayStation or Xbox. So yeah, no, I think just like there's something about Hades on Nintendo that I guess just is like Nintendo likes it and Supergiant likes it, and this is Supergiant's first sequel. They've never made a sequel before, so yeah.
Because Hades was so good.
Yeah. Slash, thoughts on Hades 2 coming to Switch 2?
Once again, this is what the Nintenders wanted. They wanted the juicy, because everyone's like, oh, the exclusives on the Switch and shit. First party stuff. That's pretty fire. You got Smash, you got you guys know. You got the Tears of the Kingdom, you got the Breath of Link. You got all that stuff. But like this is peak. This is what we wanted. This is what everyone wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And it just pisses me off that they fumbled this so hard because of stuff we'll get into later. Like,
he went a little far with that.
It's just like this was set up to be like low-key a turning point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to that later though.
Yeah. Greg, thoughts on Elden, or no, we moved past that.
We did Elden Ring.
Hades 2?
You already did that, DP.
I think I was expecting it to come to console eventually, but I think Switch 2 as like the first console reveal for it makes sense.
Alright, and ML, thoughts on Hades 2?
I've never played the Haze first one, but since it's coming to Switch, I might check it out. It looks very interesting.
Base as fuck.
The art style looks interesting, yeah.
Alright, next up, this was one that I popped off for. Street Fighter 6 is coming to Switch 2.
Yeah, woo, we win!
We saw footage of it. It looks really good. There's even, like, sort of motion controls. You shake the Joy-Con, and they can, like, so that's cool. The thing that shocked me the most about this was that there's amiibos. There's amiibo support for fucking Street Fighter 6. Like, that's kind of crazy. There's amiibo cards of every character, and then there's an amiibo for Luke, Jamie, and Kimberly. So that, like, I never thought that Street Fighter 6 would get amiibo support and their own amiibo figures. That is kind of crazy. So I'm excited for that, because I fucking love Street Fighter 6. That game is, like, a masterpiece of a fighting game, right? So to see it get this type of love is great. Those amiibos, though, are fucking $30 a pop. If I want to get all three of them, that's $90. Like,
Capcom, why?
You think that's Capcom, or you think that's Nintendo?
Could be a combination of both.
Yeah, probably. So, unfortunately, and this Street Fighter 6 is a launch title, so this will be available at launch. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to miss out on these amiibos, at least like at launch, because like I'm dropping $500 on a whole console. I'm not dropping another 90 on amiibos. That's unfortunate, but still really cool. Greg, thoughts on Street Fighter 6 coming to Switch 2?
Watching about this game a third time, like, I genuinely do enjoy SF6, and they finally, I guess, kind of put word about Elena coming in the game, however you pronounce it, but I'll be buying this probably day one. As for the amiibos, I might wait, because then again, like, 90 for all three is very hefty. Oh, and by the way, they confirmed that motion controls cannot be used in ranked, because it does have crossplay.
Right, okay. Slash, thoughts on Street Fighter 6 coming to Switch 2?
Bruh. Literally said it. This is what we need. This is Nintendo's. This is what we wanted. It's peak, and more peak is peaking in this peak, and it's going to be peakness.
Alright.
Yeah.
And ML, thoughts on Street Fighter 6 coming to Switch 2?
Really fun. That's really cool. I'm not too much of a Street Fighter guy, but that's really cool.
That's fine. You can learn. There's modern controls.
It's not my highlight, but it's not my highlight of the whole thing, but it's still pretty cool. That's
Editor, put the clip in from the music quiz.
Oh boy, yeah. Everyone watching, Slash will say that he threw for content for that one. He did not. If anything, ML threw. But anyways, moving on. Probably the strangest new game. We get a sequel to Daemon X Machina called Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion. Look, Daemon X Machina is not a game I ever played. It was a game that I remember thinking it looked interesting, but it sort of just came out, and, like, that was it. If you haven't heard the main theme, like, the main menu theme of that game, by the way, like, you gotta listen to that. That shit goes so hard for no reason. But, yeah, I mean, like, this is weird. Like, I never thought we'd get a sequel to Daemon X Machina. It's just a weird game to get a sequel. You know, yeah, it comes out, it just set a release date as I'm, like, kind of zooming through it. July 5th, 2025.
Oh, it's July. Whoops.
Yeah, no, not July. September. Yeah, you're right. I'm dumb.
Oh, fuck.
And Slash
dumb.
with, for my next trick, I will make you disappear.
What?
Okay, Slash has to go for a minute. He'll be back, hopefully. So Daemon X Machina is getting a sequel. Weird announcement. Weird game to get a sequel. And it's getting one so soon to the Switch. Like, how well did Daemon X Machina even sell? Like, that's, like...
I can't recall.
Like
it was a console exclusive, I know that.
I know, but, like, it must not have sold very well. I also remember it came out, like, very close to, like, a different, like, Nintendo game that was, like...
You mean Astral Chain?
Not Astral Chain. I don't think Astral Chain, like... Astral Chain and Daemon X Machina competing with each other is basically, like, you know, that's nothing, you know. I think it was, like, Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it was Link's Awakening,
That,
you're right.
Daemon X Machina came out real close to. You know, and so, yeah, Greg, thoughts on Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion?
I never expected it to get a sequel, but here we are. Will I play it? God knows.
Alright, and ML, thoughts?
Sorry, wait a minute, I got distracted by something.
Talking about Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion.
That's a mouthful. Not my game. Again, not my highlight. Yeah, so it is cool. It's whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I know what your highlight might be, by the way. But
You
anyways, next game was Hazelight's newest game, Split Fiction. This is a game I've been wanting to play because it got some great reviews. It just came out last month. So it's a game I've been wanting to play, but I need a second player to play it with, you know. But you know, this game is probably the best reviewed game of the year so far. And it's pretty cool that it's coming to Switch 2, like, right off the bat. Like, this is a launch title. So yeah, not much to say here because I mean, I think it looks great. It Takes Two, when that came out on the Switch,
It was very laggy.
yeah. This though looks really good on the Switch too. So Greg, thoughts on fucking Hazelight's? I thought that was the name of the game for a second, but on
Split Fiction.
Split Fiction, yeah. Thoughts on that game?
Hopefully, you know, the performance is better and it just opens up to like a new audience because the game's already doing like pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, while you're at it, text Ward to see if he wants to join, if he's gonna join. Anyways, ML, thoughts on Split Fiction?
Yeah, I saw it looks cool. I might pick it up. I might.
All right. You need a second player for that game, though. So hey, maybe me and you can play that game.
The
cool thing is you can do online with that game, and only one person needs to buy the game, and the other person can like download like some software to like play it with the other person without having to buy the game. So that's cool. Next up, we have EA Sports FC coming to Switch 2. I don't think I don't think they've brought like. Since they renamed the FIFA games to EA Sports FC, I don't think any of those have been on the Switch, unless I'm wrong, which I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing to say about this. Greg, thoughts?
Thoughts on what? I'm sorry, I was texting because you know.
Yeah, I know. EA Sports FC coming to the Switch too.
You know, it's expected. Hopefully, it looks better because I remember like a lot of the Switch 1 EA games, like the sports, they got slammed. IGN just copy and pasted the reviews, which I find really funny.
Well, that was... I wouldn't put that on all of IGN. That was one guy. But, yeah. And also, like, I don't even play play sports games. I think those are overrated, rather, and waste of money every year.
Well, you're just paying for the same thing every year.
But even I have to look at the way that they've been coming out on the Switch with the Legacy, like, I think that's what it's called, the Legacy Editions.
The Legacy Edition, yeah.
Where it's just the roster of the last game. You're like, that's so stupid. So hopefully they don't do that this time. Just because, like, it's very lame Switch support. Emma, I would assume you don't have much to say about EA Sports FC.
I do not.
Alright. Next up, Hogwarts Legacy is coming to the Switch too. This game, I keep forgetting that this game is actually on the Switch 1. But it is. And from what I remember, it came out and wasn't great on the Switch 1. I do really like this game. And it was the best-selling game of 2023. The first time in like 20 years where the best-selling game of the year wasn't Call of Duty or a Rockstar game. So that's cool. I think this game looks really good on the Switch too. It it looks like it runs well and all that. So that's cool. Greg, thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy coming to the Switch too?
Another one I haven't played, don't know if I will, but hopefully, it's like a free data transfer upgrade, but I kind of doubt it because it's Warner Brothers. They want our damn money.
Yeah.
But it does open the door for other games as well, especially Mortal Kombat 1 getting, fixed graphics maybe and less lag.
Mortal Kombat 1 needs that Switch 2 version,
Yeah. If NetherRealm is up to it, but I doubt it for now.
Yeah. ML, thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy coming to Switch 2?
I'm not really a Harry Potter fan, so yeah.
I'm not either, but I still really liked Hogwarts Legacy, so yeah.
Okay.
Next up, we get an announcement that a game that's not even out yet is coming to Switch 2. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. This looks really cool on the Switch 2. I'm a little conflicted on this game as a whole because it's coming to Game Pass. I'll play it on Game Pass. But you're not including career mode? What's even the point?
It's only for one game though, I think, for Pro Skater 4.
Say again?
I think it's only for Pro Skater 4 we're not going to have a career mode.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's half worthless. But no, I think this looks really cool, and they announced that a SpongeBob level is coming to the game.
Yeah, which I find a little insane. Yeah, it's a little weird because Activision's deal with Nickelodeon has been done since 2018.
Yeah, that felt random, but hey, it's coming to Switch too. Greg, thoughts on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4?
I have no clue where to buy this game now. I'm going to be honest.
Well, I'm getting it on Game Pass.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know that, but then again, it's same day and date with Switch 2 as Xbox, PlayStation, PC.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, was that it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. ML, thoughts on Tony Hawk 3 and 4?
I'm not a Tony Hawk guy. Sorry.
Alright. Next up, we have IOI coming up and talking about how Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition is coming to Switch 2. So that's cool. I've never got too into the Hitman games. I don't know, just I don't know, it's always just been a franchise that's sort of just there for me. You know what I mean? However, actually, I'll ask you guys quickly, what do you guys think of Hitman coming to Switch 2, Greg?
Nice. That's all I have to say. I've heard great things about Hitman. I think I have some of the titles in my Steam library. I can just check right now, but I think I probably do have the Hitman games, some of them.
All right. ML.
You can ask ML. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, ML. Thoughts on Hitman?
Not a Hitman guy. Yeah.
I have Hitman 1 and 2, so yeah, there's your proof, kinda.
All right. But then, what else is cool? We get a reveal that coming to Switch 2 is Project 007. IOI is making a James Bond game, and I think we knew about that. But like I had completely forgotten. So
I think we all did. We all did for like a good while.
yeah, so seeing this at the Switch 2 Direct, I'm like, holy shit, they're making a James Bond game, but that was known for a while. And I think now that some time has passed, I definitely remember like reading about this. But still cool that it's coming to Switch 2. We didn't get to see anything for this, but still, like, you know, that's so cool that we're getting like a new James Bond game coming, and it's coming to Switch 2. So yeah, Greg, thoughts on Project 007? We really didn't see anything, but thoughts?
I hope it's not garbage, considering the stuff that EA put out later in their deal with MGM, and of course the Activision era of James Bond.
All right, and ML, thoughts on Project 007?
Not big. Nah.
Damn,
No words.
people are watching this and be like, man, what is this ML guy even like at all? They'll
Coming up.
they'll learn what you are probably popping off over. Anyways, next up, we get a remaster for Bravely Default, which I can't be the only one who thought that, like, when that trailer started, it was Final Fantasy IX, you know?
Yeah, I was in the same boat.
Because...
I even thought this while I was at work and I saw this, and I'm like, is this Final Fantasy IX remake? And it's like Bravely Default. I was like, oh.
Because,
that
like,
game I almost forgot about.
Yeah, because the second the trailer started, it didn't look like Bravely Default. It looked like Final Fantasy IX, and also we had all those leaks about FF9 recently.
It's going to be probably a summer reveal or something, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember this game had a weird name. Let me check.
Because it also took from the Japanese title. That's why.
Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. I love it. I love it when games call themselves HD Remaster instead of just calling themselves HD or just Remaster. They throw an HD Remaster. I just think that's so funny. But Bravely Default Flying what's the fuck?
Fairy.
Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Look, Bravely Default's always like I've never played a Bravely Default game, but I've heard great things about the first game. I didn't hear anybody play the second game, and I remember the third game was at a bunch of Nintendo Directs. It's kind of funny that's the third game. I do remember the third game was called Bravely Default 2, but it was at a bunch of Directs, and it got a bunch of trailers, but I just remember it sort of just came out one year. Like, I can't even tell you what year it came out.
Also on PlayStation, I think, unless I'm thinking Octopath.
And you might be thinking Octopath. But Bravely Default 2 could have been on PlayStation. But, so Bravely Default's always sort of just been that franchise that, to me, has just sort of existed, you know? And it's, like, linked to Nintendo, but it's Square Enix. But it just sort of exists, you know? So, Greg, thoughts on Bravely Default Flying Fairy Remastered? It's a
I've never played it.
So, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a mouthful. I've never played the original. I remember the title. Maybe I'll take a stab at it. I know Switch game prices are also leaking for Switch 2. I believe this one's $40, so not terrible value.
Mm-hmm. And ML, thoughts on Bravely Default?
Looks cool. That's about.
All right, and just to reiterate, that's a launch title. I kind of said that while Greg was talking, so you might not have gotten that, but yeah, Bravely Default is a launch title. And next up, we got Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
Ooh, another one I popped off too, I guess.
Yeah. So
this is interesting.
Yeah, Greg, you want to talk about this one?
So I'm honestly kind of shocked that Sega even is like, touching Zero, because people, they play Zero and it's like, oh, it's so perfect. I guess they found a way to make it more perfect with like new content, a dub, online, multiplayer. Like, this is going to be pretty good. And while we were talking with the Nintendo Switch 2 experience that's happening in New York and Paris, this is actually going to be a playable game. So for those who have tickets, enjoy your time with Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
All right.
I will be waiting, and I will be playing probably day one.
Yeah. I believe this is also a launch title.
It is, yes.
Oh,
I hope they don't
cool.
release with like limited run games because that would suck.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about Yakuza. I've never really gotten into Yakuza before. They're like
You can maybe because Zero is like the first game.
I do know that, yeah, but just haven't gotten into Yakuza before. But yeah, ML, thoughts on Yakuza 0 Director's Cut?
It looks cool. I never played the Yakuza games, but it looks really fun.
Okay.
You got thing.
I have a friend on the original Yakuza 0. He spent like over 120 hours, and I think that was for the story alone. Yeah, these games are long. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah. And then we get told that we're about to see another game that's in collaboration with a third-party company and Nintendo, and it's Koei Tecmo. And once I saw that, I knew it was going to be a Warriors game, right? Like, because what other type of games do Koei Tecmo do with Nintendo? It's a Warriors game. And it's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This is like a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. And it seems like it's canon. I know Age of Calamity was not canon, but even though it said it was gonna be, but yeah, sorry, I just did something right there, but look, I'm not the biggest fan of the Warriors games. Like, Hyrule Warriors is cool, but other than that, I never got into Dynasty Warriors. I never got into like the other Warriors. I forgot, like Shadow Warriors or something like that. I forgot what it was, but or Samurai Warriors or something like that.
It was Samurai, I think.
Right, yeah. I never got into Fire Emblem Warriors. But they do sell, and they are popular, and people find them to be pretty fun. And this is the third Hyrule Warriors game that they've made, that they've put out. So that's gotta mean something. And I'm sure it's pretty cool that they're doing, like, they had that prequel to Breath of the Wild, and now they're doing a prequel to fucking Tears of the Kingdom. They even did that with Fire Emblem Three Houses with Three Hopes. They had like a prequel to Three Houses, so that's cool. I'm probably not going to play this game, but I think it's cool that they're doing this, and interesting that this is like one of the first games that they're putting out for the Switch 2. When you look at like the first party Nintendo games. Excuse me. You look at the first party Nintendo games, you got some very unconventional games that are going to be put on there within like the launch window for the Switch 2, for a new console, right? Like Mario Kart's probably like the one on there that like is like
it's going to make the most sense.
But like Hyrule Warriors, that's interesting that that's one of their first games that they're gonna put out. I don't think it got like a hard date, but like coming this winter. Okay, so maybe it will come in December. We kind of mentioned that earlier, but if it says winter, maybe it will be December. But I can still see a November release date for this. Greg, thoughts on Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment?
I find it crazy that they were actually able to make another one. I never expected something related to Tears for Hyrule Warriors, because of course we know when Age of Calamity came out, that obviously is like non-canon. But I think they're trying to make this one like actually canon to the story of Tears of the Kingdom. But who knows? I don't know if I'll pick it up like day one.
Yeah. ML, I don't know if you remember this, but I actually remember all those years ago when you were on my podcast. We talked about Age of Calamity because that was just revealed, and we're kind of talking about like how cool it looked. So thoughts on Age of Imprisonment?
That it definitely looked really cool. I'm excited. I think you get to play as like Zelda, like in this game,
Yeah,
right?
She kind of seems like the main character. So
I'm pretty sure.
The second Zelda game official where she's the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the last
Not
one.
counting the CDI ones.
Yeah, the last one we got, she was. I forgot what it was called, but like the last one, she was like the most recent. Yeah, that one. So I'm definitely excited because I love playing as Zelda and like the the recent game we got, and
Echoes of Wisdom.
yeah, Echoes of Wisdom, and I definitely love like how she moves and like how she like her gameplay. So I'm definitely excited to see, you know, how the gameplay would be. I mean, I usually really like those. I really like was it the Age of Calamity. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so I definitely be cool. Yeah, I really like the gameplay in those games, like those types of games. Warriors, all those, like how it moves. I guess it feels really fast, feels very strong. So I'd definitely be cool, to pick this game up.
Yeah. So yeah, coming this winter. Yeah. Again, it's not really a game for me. It's not something I'm too interested in. But like, I still think it had a really good showing. So yeah. Next up, we get an update on Nintendo Switch Online. And all the leaks and rumors said GameCube was coming to NSO, and that's what we got. This is probably the highlight of a lot of people.
Yeah, especially a certain someone, from what I know.
Yeah, GameCube is coming to NSO, and the 3 games we got revealed. It's first of all a little bizarre that it's only 3 games. That is very light, but at the same time, GameCube games are definitely more beefy in terms of like content and just the size. They're definitely more beefy than like your NES, SNES, even N64 games, right? So the 3 games we got are Wind Waker, which is cool, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. When we get the Switch to F-Zero GX Mad Lads, that will go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will go crazy. And it's going to be hella fun.
Yeah. And then coming later, if I can pull that up.
There's a lot coming later.
Yeah.
I know in Treehouse they showed off Mario Strikers, like Super Mario Strikers in the menu.
Let me just...
so that's probably going to come.
Greg, stop it. Let me just get to that part where we
Okay.
get to the other games. Coming soon. Come on. Okay. We got Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Colosseum. Those are the games that they announced will be coming later. So that's awesome. Obviously, this started a lot of conversation about Mario Kart Double Dash. I think that would be great. And it's also started a lot of conversation about Melee. Now, Nintendo will never re-release Melee. They hate Melee. But, and they're doing, like, the thing where they release, like, a controller for the, for the console. They did that with the NES, SNES, N64, and Genesis. They're doing that with GameCube. And so this is probably, whenever the next Smash game comes out, this is probably going to be a big thing for that, Now, I'm going to say something. I do not have the expansion pack for Nintendo Switch Online. I never got that. Like when they first introduced it, and they announced like it was going to be an expansion pack for like the N64 and the Genesis games. I'm like, okay, I'm interested. Then they announced the price. They announced that it was going to be the N64 Genesis games and the Animal Crossing DLC. And it was like $50, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not buying that. And then they added more DLC to the expansion pack, and I thought that was definitely like a better way to like make the to make it more worth it. But then I realized all this DLC for games is like games I don't really play, and except for the Mario Kart DLC, which I already got separately. But then they announced GBA games, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's worth it now. I don't know if it's worth it enough to where I still want to drop 50 bones for it. Excuse me. But definitely a much better value than originally. Now you throw in GameCube, and then also like the stuff with like the free upgrades. I think the expansion pack is well worth it. So yeah, Greg, thoughts on or you just muted? So
yeah, I muted because the phone was going off in my house for some reason.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask ML first. ML, thoughts on GameCube games coming to NSO?
I'm really excited. I want to say the one, but I think I don't want to like spoil it because it comes later. So yeah.
You can still say it.
Kirby's there, right there.
Yeah, I think we'll get that. I think that'll come to NSO. Greg, if you can, thoughts on GameCube coming to NSO?
The door has been open for a lot of potential. I would love to see a ton of like more Sega games outside of F-Zero, which they collabed on with Nintendo. Like we could see Sonic 2 Battle, Sonic DX, Sonic Heroes, even Shadow maybe. Like there's a lot of potential, and probably like a M-rated launcher for like Eternal Darkness or Metal Gear Twin Snakes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, we get to some more third-party games. The first game they show in this in this sort of like segment, Deltarune. Deltarune's coming to Switch 2, and it's getting chapters 3 and 4, which haven't been released yet. And it's a launch title. The thing with Deltarune, again, I keep forgetting that's a thing, but it should feel a bit more significant because it's like a sequel to Undertale, But I feel like, I don't know, the way they're releasing it is a little bizarre, but I don't know, I think this is cool. ML, are you a fan of, remember you were a fan of Undertale at one point, right?
I did. I did for the.
Are you a fan of... Sorry.
Like a little bit when it was like a thing, like 7 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a fan of Deltarune?
I know I played that, but maybe I'll pick it up.
And
What the fuck? Okay, ML. Say what you just said again, because Greg talked during.
I may pick it up during just like the sequel, because it seems really interesting. I really like. I never finished it, but I do really like the games. So.
Mm-hmm. And Greg, thoughts on Deltarune?
I haven't played it surprisingly, but maybe I will now that it's like a complete package.
Yeah, is that the case? It is a complete package.
Or I mean, if it has chapters 3 and 4 before the other platforms, unlikely.
Okay. All right. Next up, we get Randy Pitchford, who is, he's a bit of a character, and I don't mean that in the best way, but yeah, he shows up to talk about Borderlands 4 coming to Switch 2. So that's pretty cool. I don't really look. I'm not big into Borderlands. It's just a game that, like, people like the game. And I'm happy for them. But yeah, I'm not really excited for Borderlands. But did they say that this is coming out along with the other versions?
Mm-hmm. And then,
so that's cool. But yeah. Not much else to say about Borderlands. Any of you guys have anything to say about Borderlands?
I wonder how wide the door is for GTA 6 to launch with Switch 2 as the other platforms. Like, I'm curious, because, same company, Take-Two.
I don't think that will happen.
Not for now.
No, GTA 6, like, that will not... Like, the Switch 2 is pretty powerful. I don't think it's going to run GTA 6.
I'm intrigued, though. You never know.
I really hope Slash gets back, just because I want him to be here when we talk about all the other stuff. But then they also showed Civilization 7. Not my type of game at all, but it came out early this year and it got some good reviews. It comes out on the Switch 2 day one. Thoughts on Civ 7?
I'm happy for the people who actually, like it. Like, I think I have friends who are more into like Hearts of Iron, but it's the same thing, kind of.
All right. Next up, 2K. They go over to 2K, and they talk about WWE 2K and NBA 2K will be on Switch 2 now. That's cool. They didn't show anything though. They didn't show us like any footage. I doubt like this year's version of WWE 2K will be on Switch 2 because it's already come out. So maybe next year's, maybe this year's version of NBA 2K will be on Switch too, because that hasn't come out yet. But yeah, thoughts, anybody?
Just, you know what? It's sports games. I really have no thoughts.
Yeah, I wouldn't call WWE a sports game, but yeah, I get what you mean. Then we got the game that broke the direct, that broke the stream, and a bit of a weird game. Like, I don't know what this was doing here. Like, I feel like this, like, yeah, okay, Survival Kids, a launch title for the Switch 2, by the way. Yeah, I have nothing to say about this one. I thought this was Sea of Thieves for a second. So I was ready to check off Xbox game from the bingo card, but turns out Tony Hawk is an Xbox game, or is a Microsoft game. So and I'm counting that. I would assume none of you guys have anything to say about Survival Kids.
Thanks for breaking my stream while I was at work.
What was that, Greg?
Thanks for breaking my stream while I was at work.
Yeah, okay. And then, okay, here's the thing. The direct, the stream, like, broke. It just completely froze. So we missed a lot that, like, a few things that happened afterwards. Kind of like how, like, right after they announced Enter the Gungeon 2. Like, that's kind of big, you know? Like, I was shocked because there is an Enter the Gungeon sequel. It's called Exit the Gungeon, right? But you know, this is cool. I actually played Enter the Gungeon for the first time like a few months ago. I did that roguelikes episode of Solo Missions. That was my first time playing Enter the Gungeon. So it's pretty cool that we get a sequel to Enter the Gungeon. And it's like, it's not sprite based. It's like 3D like modeled stuff.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's a roguelike. I'm not the biggest fan of roguelikes, and I do respect Enter the Gungeon, but it's not like, it's not one of my preferred. It's not really like an exception I make to the roguelike rule I have, you know. But I think it's still cool that they were able to announce Enter the Gungeon 2 at this direct. Greg, thoughts on Enter the Gungeon 2?
I remember the first one, really positive reviews. Maybe I should play catch up and then try this one.
Yeah, the first one's on like PS Plus Extra for free, so you know you don't have to buy it. And ML, thoughts on fucking what's it called? Enter the Gungeon 2?
No thoughts.
Alright, next up we get this other game, this like space game. I don't really have anything to say about it. It's called Star Seeker and Astroneer Expeditions. Coming 2026. Thoughts, anybody?
No. Sadly not. I don't think that's really my type.
Alright, it's from Devolver though, which is cool. I like Devolver. But and then next up, you were able to hear this, but you weren't able to see it because of sorry about that, everybody. But we kind of missed the Cyberpunk announcement because the stream crashed. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition is coming to the Switch 2. This is a big game for the Switch 2.
And
you know. Say again?
It's day one.
It's a launch title, yeah. And also it's a $70 game. And it comes out. The whole thing's on the card. It's not on the key cards, which we'll get to later. I think this looks really solid on the Switch too. Cyberpunk. I was one of those people who actually liked the game when it came out. I didn't like, my experience wasn't killed by the bugs and glitches. Although it did crash on me more than it should have. And a game should never crash on you. So, but it crashed on me more than once. It even crashed during the credits. Like, that was
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I still really enjoyed the game. And but funny enough, I haven't gone back to it. Like, I haven't played Phantom Liberty. Which is something I need to get around to doing. Maybe this could be my opportunity to do that.
You can just replay the game, then just do Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I really like Cyberpunk, and I'm happy it's now on the Switch too. Greg, thoughts?
You know, CD Projekt Red is a good dev, honestly. At least we know with this version, there's not going to be any bugs at launch.
Yeah. ML, thoughts?
Is Bro there?
I don't think he is. We'll just move on. Next up, probably one of the third-party games that I'm most excited that is on the Switch too. Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is like the first... Yeah, specifically. Yeah, this is the first time it's on a console that's not PlayStation. You know, it was on PC, but like that's not really a console.
It's a big deal as well. This was another one that Nate the Hate was talking about.
Yeah, and it's pretty well known that Rebirth is going to come to Switch 2 eventually. They're just trying to figure that one out. But you know, I'm excited that this is coming to the Switch 2 because, like, I love Remake. I love FF7 Remake. You know, and
yeah, it's really good, honestly.
Giving me more FF7 content is always welcome.
It's welcome. It's welcome in this channel.
It's not a launch title. This game's not a launch title. I feel like we had a nice string of launch titles, but this one's not one of them. But it looks really good. It comes out. I think it's supposed to come out sometime later this year.
Probably.
What?
Probably holiday season, judging with how with this 2025.
Yeah. Look, Greg, thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy this again and probably take it on the go like quite a bit. It's like really enjoyable. Like if you haven't played it yet, please do. You won't regret it.
Yeah. And ML, if you're still there, thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2?
Sorry, my thing wasn't unmuting before. I don't know what the fuck happened. I think Discord just froze for me for a second. But for Final Fantasy, looks interesting. I might pick it up. Even though like I'm not really a big Final Fantasy guy, how like it was presented. So
right.
Yeah.
And then next up we got like an insane fucking sizzle reel that just. Oh hey Slash, you're back.
Oh, he's.
Why did you send me to the Shadow Realm?
So yeah, we actually just talked about like basically we're up to the sizzle reel where they like kind of just rapid fire through a bunch of games. We ended up we just spoke about like while you're gone we spoke about Hyrule Warriors, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Thoughts on any of those games?
Yo, the Nintenders, bro, they're gonna be so happy when they see this, man. Bro, anyone in chat who is saying this isn't what we wanted, you're a pretender, not a Nintender. And yeah, this is what we wanted. This is peak right here. Like I said before, this is the peak.
All right.
Until we'll discuss later. Y'all know the drill.
So now we're at the sizzle reel where they announce Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess is coming to Switch 2 day one. It's a launch title. I never played Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess. I fully meant to do that. What?
If I was on Game Pass.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass, but I just never got around to playing it. But I heard it's a pretty solid game, so it's cool to see that it's coming to Switch 2. And then, out of fucking nowhere, just so casually, they just drop Hollow Knight Silk Song in there. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
They really should have got its own announcement.
Like, they just casually, well, maybe they didn't have anything new to show for it, but like, this is them sort of saying like, hey, it's still a thing and it's coming to Switch 2. But that's crazy. They just dropped it. That's a spot on the bingo board, by the way. Hollow Knight Silk Song was a spot on the bingo board, and I almost put like that was kind of like a joke on the bingo board. I kind of thought that was the hardest spot, and it's there. Look,
the chat went odds too.
Yeah, look, Hollow Knight is a game I never really played too much. And I don't think it's a game for me. It's like a Souls-like Metroidvania, which I think is interesting, but I just haven't really ever gotten too attached to that game. But even I gotta say, like, with all the hype and all, like, the anticipation around Hollow Knight Silksong, just to see it randomly drop, like, casually in a sizzle reel is fucking insane that they just did that.
I mean, yeah, you couldn't have added, like, 4 minutes to, like, do a proper announcement. It's like, I mean, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here?
So, Slash, thoughts on Hollow Knight Silksong just casually being there? You kind of just said your thoughts, but...
Should have got its own thing. Whatever, I'm not gonna cry about it more than I already have. But, yeah, very cool. Love all of the knights that have no insides and are empty past the exterior. They're very cool. And, you know, very anticipated thing. Once again, Nintenders, rise up. Nintenders or pretenders. We're Nintenders.
Rise up,
Rise up, Nintenders.
Alright.
Yeah, rise
sounds
up
like-
for Silksong actually still existing.
Oh, yeah. Yo, can we get some, like, chicken nuggets that are, like, of Yoshi,
Alright,
and we can
let's-
call them Nintenders?
Nuggets.
Greg, thoughts on
Yes.
Hollow Knight Silksong just being there?
It exists. I'm hopeful probably see it like by the end of this year, like, you know, coming out.
Yeah. And ML, thoughts on Hollow Knight Silksong just being there?
It exists. Same with Greg. Nothing to say.
Alright. Next up, I don't know if we'll touch on some of these for that long because there's probably not much to say about them. Oh, great. The fucking fire alarm just went off in my house. Give me a minute. Alright, so, sorry about that. There's, like, if you heard, like, that beeping noise, the fire alarm went off, or, like, the smoke alarm, actually. It was the smoke alarm that went off in my house.
Maloli's recording an album in his basement.
Everything's okay, though, but, we move on. Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar, not, like... The only thing interesting about Story of Seasons to me is that it is actually Harvest Moon. Like, this is actually... It's not... And I'm not saying that, like, oh, no, this game's very similar to Harvest Moon. Like, it literally is Harvest Moon. Like, there's some, like, weird rights issues with Harvest Moon. And it's, like, a lot to get into. But not much to say there. Goodnight Universe... My Skybound Games, cool. 2 Point Campus, 2 Point Museum, rather. Wild Hearts S. Interesting, that... Oh my god. So yeah, sorry about that again, but, Wild Hearts S, whatever. I forgot that game exists. I forgot Wild Hearts exists. Witchbrook,
It's in the last direct too.
yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. So
And it has mouth which I'm crazy.
Yeah,
with
Slash
the
is a
Tetris.
big fan of Tetris. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, cool. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a game I'm really excited for. It was in the last direct. Good to see it's coming to Switch too. I want to see more on that game, but I am really excited for that game.
Please.
Star Wars Outlaws is coming to Switch too. I heard that game was kind of mid.
Reveal Assassin's Creed.
I heard that game was kind of mid, but even still, I think that's pretty cool that it's coming to Switch too.
When you say mid, do
Be thankful they didn't say Assassin's Creed for now.
That's... Oh, don't...
Dude,
don't
okay,
even-
you gotta understand, I'm not a fan of Assassin's Creed, but if it comes to Switch too, I think that's pretty cool. Alright?
No, Ubisoft, fuck them.
Yeah, well, at least they're supporting the Switch, so...
I mean, not really. I mean, I think the Nintenders would be okay with that. I don't think they'd love that, but I think the Nintenders would be okay with that.
Yeah, that's not even all the games that they showed, though, in the sizzle reel. There's Nobunaga's Ambition, Awakening Complete Edition, Bars. Comes out on launch day. It's a launch title. Fast Fusion by Shinin, launch title. This is kind of seems like a the F-Zero spiritual successor. They made Fast Racing Neo and Fast RMX. It seems like they just make these like F-Zero likes. like with the system's launch, or like when Fast Racing Neo, I think, was the one on the Wii U, and they put that when the Wii U was dying. So interesting. This game does look really cool though. Shadow Labyrinth is coming to Switch 2. That's that slash that's
Pac-Man's
that, yeah, that's the Pac-Man. That's the Dark Pac-Man.
based on Secret Love.
Yeah. July 18th. Pretty cool. We found that out in the last Direct. This one was announced in the last Direct. Raidu Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army. June 19th. Pretty cool. No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI, the Summon files, or the Somnium files.
This was another Direct game.
Yeah. It's kind of... I was about to say, like, why do they have that Direct? They're just going to show them in this Direct, but, like, they didn't really show them in this Direct, so I guess that's fair. Reanimal, pretty cool. It almost looks like a game by Greg, what's the name of the developer that did Limbo and Inside? Playdead, right? Is that them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reanimal kind of looks like a game by Playdead. Fortnite is a launch title for the Switch too.
Which we mentioned.
Yeah, and Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer is a launch title for the Switch.
Racer! I find
Uh,
it funny, though, that it's a launch title on there, and it's going to probably come to, like, PlayStation soon.
yeah.
Because only two that is on those platforms is KOF 98.
So that's cool. Ridge Racer. Professor Layton and the new and the new world of Steam. They announced this game at a Direct, like, not like a couple years ago, and I remember, like, a lot of people were hyped about this, and it's just like, I don't know what happened to this game, but Tamagotchi Plaza, pretty cool, I guess. Human Fall Flat 2. Did you guys know that Human Fall Flat 1 is one of the best-selling games of all time? Like, it's in the top 15.
I didn't know that.
Like, I don't know anyone who's played Human Fall Flat 1, and no one talks about it.
I played it.
My friend actually did have it on his Switch.
Or that game is so fucking funny, but it's like, for me at least, it's kind of like something you get tired of rather quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, it kind of makes sense. Like, it is a popular game, but it's also, like, you hear that and you need to almost do a double take with your ears. It's like, really? Wait, that's one of the best-selling games of all time? So that's the end of the sizzle reel. Human Fall Flat 2 was the last one they showed in that sizzle reel, and then we get to see one more game that is a third-party game. This one was definitely not expected.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I didn't expect this.
Nintendo is partnering with From Software to make an exclusive Soulsborne game. That was not on my bingo card. You know, it almost seems like it's not Bloodborne 2, but it, like, almost seems like it effectively is Bloodborne 2, you know? It seems like it's, like, the next, like, it seems like a spiritual successor to Bloodborne. I'm not the biggest fan of Soulsborne games, I will admit. Like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is a skill issue, you know? They are hard, and I don't think they're, like... I don't think that makes them bad, you know? Like, if you say a game's bad because it's hard, like, I think that's a little, like, ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I would understand if you say it's not for you, right? Even I have to look at this, though, and be like, wow, Nintendo really pulled that off. Nintendo really just worked with FromSoft to do an exclusive Souls game. You know, that's crazy. It doesn't come out till 2026, but still, like, a Nintendo exclusive FromSoft game. That's wild to me. Slash, since you're closest to me on the display thing,
yeah, you know how it is.
Thoughts on oh yeah, I didn't reveal the name. It's Dusk Bloods. Thoughts on Dusk Bloods?
Nintendo's. This is peak. This is above peak. This is the peak of peak. Like, guys, this is huge. Like, literally, this is so huge. And you love to see, like, I mean, I'm kind of just, like, I'm still at a loss for words. Like, this is so incredibly peak.
Yeah.
I can't elaborate on why it's peak, but this is huge for so many different reasons. And yeah, we need the Switch needs exclusives, or I mean, apparently it doesn't. But the Switch 2 needs the third-party support, and like that was one of I think the biggest complaints about the first Switch is that you got all these great games, but when anything's ported over, it plays like ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're coming out the gate showing that they got the third party this time.
Yeah.
First party is a guarantee with third party too. I mean, hey, all we need is second party. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, I said I probably wasn't going to play this game, but I think this is supposed to be a multiplayer game. So,
Here he goes.
mad lads. But,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm in.
Slash, or I asked you already. Greg, thoughts on the Dusk Bloods?
Nintendo told Sony, screw you, we're getting Bloodborne 2 first.
Pretty much, yeah. And then Sony's like, okay, you can't call it Bloodborne, though. You can even have blood in the name if you want, but you can't call it Bloodborne.
Either way, I would like to play it when it comes out.
Can you imagine they called it Born Blood or some shit?
And ML, thoughts on the Dusk Bloods?
It looks really cool. I see myself possibly picking this up.
What a legend.
All right. And then the next game, or again, it's 2026. How are you playing Repo, Slash?
What are you talking about?
I just got a notification from Steam saying Cal Frozen is playing Repo.
Imagine playing a Repo.
This next game, I think it's what I think it is. Wow, that really like. I'm trying to. Right, yeah, okay. This next game,
Me too.
they're like, okay, next up we have a new game to show you. Please take a look. And we see a star. And it's Kirby. I'm like, is this a new Kirby game? And then I realized the look of it. I'm like, is this Smash? This can't be Smash. And then we see, like, a motor coming out of, like, the star. I'm like, it's Kirby Air Ride. They're doing a sequel to Kirby Air Ride. And that's crazy. They didn't show much. Yeah, excuse me. They didn't show much from in this trailer, right? But Kirby Air Riders they're making a sequel to this game. That's crazy. Oh, I have the hiccups now. God damn it. But yeah. ML, you're the Kirby fan here. By the way, Sakurai's returning to work on this game. He hasn't actually worked on, like, some people might not realize this. He hasn't worked on a Kirby game since Kirby Air Ride 1, right? Since then, he did Meteos, he did Kid Icarus Uprising, and he did Smash, Brawl, Smash 4, and Ultimate. ML, you're the Kirby fan here. Thoughts on Kirby Air Riders?
Alright, so this was my highlight for me. I'll be honest. So of the whole thing. So I never played the first one, but I heard it had a lot of problems. So and since like the GameCube's like coming, they're bringing GameCube games. I'll probably Kirby's Air Ride maybe there. Who knows? But yeah, I'm really excited to play the sequel because. Yeah, like Kirby basing game, that's like awesome to me. I don't know, like that's like insane, like to me.
Yeah, this is like, this is just so cool. Like, you see, I mentioned this earlier. Slash, you weren't here. I think I mentioned this when we were talking about Hyrule Warriors. It's very interesting. These like sort of the types of games that Nintendo's choosing to like. Not launch the system with, but like be like some of the first games, like a new Kirby Air Ride, a Hyrule Warriors game we're about to get into. Like after this, it is like a new 3D Donkey Kong. Very interesting stuff that you wouldn't expect to come out within like the first window of like a system's release. But yeah, Slash, what are your thoughts on Kirby Air Riders?
Hey man,
can you say something different this time?
What? Like what?
Just give me your thoughts on Kirby Air Riders.
All right. Look, great game. Not necessarily like an underappreciated game, but maybe a game that gets a little bit lost to the sands of times a little bit here. I mean, it's not one of the first 60 games that comes to my head immediately. But look, great game, fun game, bringing it back, reinventing it to some degree. It's going to be cool. It's cool to see a title like this kind of reinvigorated and made for the next gen.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't like the first one have like problems?
I don't know. Like I don't. Like I hear that the first game held in like really high regard.
Yeah,
So-
everyone.
Yeah, like
my knowledge
download-
loved that game.
So Greg, thoughts on Kirby Air Riders? It's supposed to come out sometime this year.
Yeah, it is coming this year. I think we all used to pray for times like these, and well, they finally answered with this true sequel, like over 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
The level
Meek Mill.
of hype when it said Sakurai is returning to direct the game is the same amount of hype with Okami 2 and Hideki returning with Capcom under his new studio.
Yeah.
Like, it's a level of hype. You have to realize that.
Yeah, and we were talking to our mutual friend earlier, and he said, imagine Sakurai's going to have to fight really hard to not have Kirby Air Riders be $80. And I'm like, I don't think he'll have to fight hard at all for that. I don't think Nintendo's going to charge you $80 for Kirby Air Riders, you know? But
I hope not.
Yeah,
Yo,
so that's that. Kirby Air Riders, like, excellent announcement. I did not see that coming. But that's awesome. And finally, the last game that we end this direct on is a new 3D Donkey Kong. This was the Donkey Kong game we heard about like for a while, being developed by like the Mario Odyssey devs. You know, and I completely forgot this game was a thing. And then I heard that Vicarious Visions was working on a 3D Donkey Kong at one point, but then Vicarious Visions got blizzarded.
Not even that. It was just canceled altogether, and this was when they were still under like Activision before the Blizzard rebranding.
I know, but so like I completely forgot that EAD were working on the Donkey Kong game. But this looks so good. And look, Donkey Kong's new design, you know, that's kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to this game. I like it.
Rest in peace, Rare DK. We will never forget you, but I'm gonna be honest. Like with this game, the design has grown on me.
Yeah. Like this just looks so good. Everything you can pick up anything and it's destructible. You know, that's cool. We watched the Treehouse gameplay earlier. Greg,
Yeah, we did, and it looks fun.
There's even like some 2D segments where it looks like the original Donkey Kong Country. This game looks like a potential Game of the Year contender. And
Oh, I hope it is.
had it not been for Mario Kart being $80, that probably would have been my game of the show. But because that's the case, I think Donkey Kong might be my game of the show. Greg, you sure seem like you want to talk about Donkey Kong right now, so I'll let you go first. Thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza? We never said the name of the game, but that's the title.
Yeah, Bonanza. I know it's a bit of a mouthful of a title, but like I think the day before the showcase, I was like seeing like the Costco guys and Rizzler advertise DKCR HD. Like it's kind of funny that we exist in a timeline where it's like we get a remaster of one game beginning of the year, and then summer we get like an all new game entirely. Where I think Cranky is the only Kong returning because there's no Diddy, no Dixie. It's just Donkey Kong himself. But then again, it kind of also does make sense with like the tone the game is going for, because this time Donkey Kong is like in the underworld.
Yeah.
So it's not like your typical Donkey Kong Island, even though there's like references to maybe like Donkey Kong 64 with like golden bananas and all that. But I like this new direction. I'm praying, we get a sequel, expansion, and it's gonna be the same formula. Because I think with Donkey Kong, we finally have a recipe for success.
Watch the the main villain of this game is going to be a playable character in the next Smash Bros. Game. But either
It's gonna
way,
be funny.
Slash, thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Okay. This is so peak. Like, I've been saying this for however long, that Donkey Kong does not get enough love, man. This man is an icon. This is like Mario's original rival, one of the biggest like characters. I mean, he's one of the only characters in like one of the most famous and iconic video games of all time. And you have the Rare trilogy, I mean the Rare games as well. So much like amazing stuff, and he just doesn't get enough love nowadays. So like when this happened, you know, I know everyone was wishing for like Mario 3D platform, you know, the Mario 3D game, the new Zelda or whatever the fuck people were wanting. But this is just peak, man, like in ways that are very difficult to explain. It's just peak. It looks great. It's going to be great. And Donkey Kong is back on top.
Yep.
Like, you love to see it.
Our top banana, as you will.
Exactly.
Yep. And ML, thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Ding, ding.
You have a question. What was like the last Donkey Kong game?
It was Tropical Freeze.
Just Tropical Freeze. We're not counting the remasters.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze was the last
How long
one.
was that? How long ago was that?
It was 2014. That was like 11 years ago. Holy shit.
Good God. In 11 years.
A lot of 2014 comebacks. Don't you love it?
And the other thing is, that was a 2D game. The last time we got a 3D Donkey Kong was Donkey Kong 64. Which
In
came out
1999.
before- yeah.
Like 3K.
Good God.
That was an N64 game, was the last 3D Donkey Kong. Not only is a new Donkey Kong game long overdue, a new 3D Donkey Kong is long overdue, right?
Yeah.
But again, you see, this is what I mean. Very, like, this is a very risky, but also cool to see that Nintendo is taking this approach with their, like, launch window. You know, the first few games, like, that they put out for the Switch 2 is a new 3D Donkey Kong, a sequel to Kirby Air Ride, a new Hyrule Warriors. Like, that is interesting, you know? And that basically is the end of this showcase. They showed off that you can get the Switch 2 Mario Kart World Bundle. They showed that was a thing. You know, more details for the Nintendo Switch 2 on the website. And they suspiciously did not talk about any prices. And the second they were, like, skipping by that, I thought to myself, oh no. Right? And we will talk about that. But before we do, I think we need to talk about the Direct as a whole. Holy shit, we've been going for almost 2 hours, and we're not even done. We're done with the Direct, but...
I thought when I left, I thought you guys were going to be done before I got back. But,
no, we were not. Before we actually do the other stuff, I do want to read the... I'm going to pull up the launch lineup. Nintendo Switch 2... launch titles. I'm gonna pull up the launch games for the Switch 2. So the launch lineup so far, we got Mario Kart World, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you know, the Switch 2 editions of those games. We got GameCube NSO, so Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, and Soul Calibur 2. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, Deltarune, Split Fiction, Cyberpunk 2077, Street Fighter 6, Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess, Civ 7, Hogwarts Legacy, Bravely Default, Flying Fairy HD, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Fortnite, Fast Fusion, Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition, Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition, Survival Kids, Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer, and Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. That's so far the launch lineup for the Switch 2. And I say so far, but I don't see it changing that much before we get there. But yeah, all overall final thoughts on the Direct itself before we get to the stuff that wasn't in the Direct. We'll start with you, Slash. Final thoughts on the Direct as a whole.
With me, oh boy. Look, this is how you fucking do this shit, man. Like, you show all the goodies. Like what I was saying before, it's all about what games you're bringing the console and what games are third-party games as well. You basically did, I think, as well as you could have done. Like, I'm sure maybe like a Zelda game or like a 3D platforming or 2D platforming Mario game would have been great. But this is basically the best I think you could have done. There's something for everyone. It's not basic, unique, and I mean, hey man, like I don't think you could have done much better than this.
Mm-hmm.
As a, because there are people who just aren't going to get the Switch 2, and then there are people who might get it if they, the games that they want to play are on there, like maybe someone who wants to play the new but not new Bloodborne game, or like something like,
yeah,
like this is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is why, once again, the pricing and everything is so frustrating, because if the games were the correct price, like, well, not the correct price, but I guess the price that I think they should be, like this, I feel like they really fumbled the bag.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So.
Oh, I'm ahead.
He's too.
Body.
Okay. Greg, thoughts on the Switch 2 Direct as a whole?
I honestly really enjoyed it, and was it worth waiting since January 16th? Absolutely. I know obviously we're not done, and there's still much more that needs to be revealed, so I'm prepared for a potential summer Direct.
Mm-hmm. And ML, thoughts on the Direct as a whole?
Honestly, there's some games like I'm not really like interested in, but like the heights were there. The heights were there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thoughts. I thought it was as good of a showing as you can do to like usher in this new era for Nintendo. The Switch 2 era has begun, and we get a new, like, the Mario Kart looks fucking amazing. Open world, like, come on. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks amazing. And Kirby I almost said Star Allies. Kirby Air Riders, like that we didn't see much of it, but like the fact that exists is crazy. Like, that's awesome. And then the third party support, like, I want to get, like, I don't usually double dip with games, but I want to get Street Fighter on this. I want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake on this. I want to play Cyberpunk on this, and like the Switch 2 itself, it's like I even want to replay Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom now because of the way they look and run. Like, it's impressive, and I'm so excited to see what's next for this console. So that's our thoughts on the Direct itself. But that's not it. It's not over, because there's a lot that Nintendo did not tell you, and a lot of it is not necessarily good news. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room.
Prices.
Yep. You guys can't see it, but I have the like a web page up here. So first of all, it's not okay. It is here. I don't know how well you can see it, but oh no, the doesn't really like. Yeah, something annoying about Discord and OBS is like I'll have my a webcam on, and then I'll also like click off of it, and then the webcam turns off in the video. Like, that's kind of annoying. So sorry, but mine and Slash's webcams are not gonna show for they're gonna go on and off. But whatever. Turns out I was wrong about the Switch 2 being $400. It is $450, and then the Mario Kart bundle is $500. So that's like, okay. I mean, it is more than I would have expected, but you know what? It is a lot more powerful than the Switch one, right? But so that's fine. Then we get to Mario Kart World. You know what? Let me share my screen. I think that'll be better, actually.
All right.
So yeah, I'm sharing my screen, and hopefully, it you can see it. No, you can't. That's weird.
I can see it. I don't
No,
know
you
if
guys
I'm-
can see it, but it doesn't
Just
show. But
working.
it doesn't show on OBS though. That's the thing. So here's what I have to
gotta-
do instead.
I gotta do the thing again. I'm sorry.
I have to. I'm going to overlay. I'm overlaying it over on OBS, and Slash just went away. I kind of wanted him to be here for this, but okay. You see, for Mario Kart World, you know, this is a really cool website, by the way. We see like everything's popping out, like it looks so cool. You know, you get a look at like the world. You scroll down.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way. What is this?
Oh, there we go.
What is this? What is this, huh? $80. The MSRP is $80. Now, this is definitely like frustrating, because what the fuck? You know, we're all talking about the dangerous precedent that that Rockstar's gonna set by pricing their games, by pricing GTA 6 at $100. Now, a bunch of other studios are gonna do that. Nintendo? Nintendo's the first one to do that? Really? With Mario Kart? Like, I'm sorry, that's just like it just broke me to see that. And look, Nintendo.
Highway robbery.
Yeah, by
That's
the way,
literally highway robbery.
Nintendo, like, I'm not gonna say that they are a perfect company. They don't, like, they're not perfect. They don't do everything that is, like, what am I trying to say? They're not, like, they could be greedy, they could be shitty, but, like, a lot of the industry practices that greedy corporations do, Nintendo's not guilty of them. You know, Nintendo doesn't do the greedy shit that other corporations do. They do other greedy shit, but they don't release games unfinished. At least not usually. They don't, like, pivot to live service games and, like, when no one wants that. But to set this precedent and start marking games at $80 is insane. And it's not just okay. And there's a lot of misinformation that went out, because it seemed that $90 was how much this game was going to be physically. It's going to be $90 physically, $80 digitally, and then other games like Donkey Kong. Like, you look at Donkey Kong, we gotta scroll all the way down for that. Actually, I actually don't think it says it here, but Donkey Kong. Oh no, it does. Okay, Donkey Kong is $70. That's pretty cool. You can click on the barrel and you go back up. So yeah, there's some misinformation that said that Donkey Kong's $80 physically and $70 digitally. Now that's not true. Mario Kart is $80 across the board. Donkey Kong is $70 across the board. So that is better. Like $80 for Mario Kart is better than $90, but not that much better. It's like oh boy. It's like oh wow, you're not getting like, it's better in the same way that getting shot 4 times is better than getting shot 5 times, you know? You're still getting shot, you know? Like, here, you're still getting charged more than you should be. Just how much more is different. still $80. Like, I look at that and it's just like, huh? Excuse me? And Mario Kart? Like, I don't know. Greg, thoughts on, well, before you do that, actually, not that, we'll talk about that in a sec. Over here, these prices are all over the place. We'll do, open image in new tab. And, these prices are all over the place. Because you look at, so yeah, these are all physical. So it shows Mario Kart is 80 physically. And, where's Donkey Kong? Donkey Kong is 70 physically. Street Fighter 6 is 60. Bravely Default is 40. What is this? Why is, Breath of the Wild is 70? Kirby and the Forgotten Land is 80? And so is Mario Party and Tears of the Kingdom? Excuse me. These are like, they're all over the place. There's no consistency, and there's so much misinformation because there's so many people that still think that games physically are $90. Excuse me.
Oh, hello.
Slash is back? I can't see. Okay. Hi, Slash. Yeah. So, there's just so much information. Like, Nintendo has not been clear about any of this, basically. I get why they wouldn't do it in the Direct if it's, like, this controversial. In fact, I think it's a good thing that they didn't do that in the Direct. But they should have put out, like, a press release or something, you know? They should have, like, said something. There's definitely ways they could have done... There's definitely things they could have done to, like, make it more clear what was happening, right? But still, like, this is just... What? So that's why the bundle is the way to go, because it's like... You like... $450 for the console, but then it's like $50 for Mario Kart. That is a steal, but it's a steal in the way where it's like it's your best option, and it's not like a very good option, but it's your best option. So, Greg, thoughts on just the prices here?
I hope that, you know, $70 is maybe the standard at least, but I think 80 is pushing it a little much. Like, with the Nintendo, like, try to, you know, reserve. Like, you can submit your account info. Like, I put down for the Mario Kart bundle because I'm not paying $80 for that. Mm-hmm. Like, not unless I'm forced to, but I'm getting...
I put down for that, too. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. And it's not even really the fact that Nintendo's... Like, if they never make their games $80 again, if this is the only time they do that... That honestly doesn't even matter at this point. The fact of the matter is, like, it seemed like the word was a lot of companies were waiting for GTA 6 to be, like, over $70, so they can start charging you over $70 for their games. Even if we live in a world where somehow, like, at this point, GTA 6 still is $70, which at this point, I had my doubts before. At this point, I doubt that. But, like, let's just say hypothetically it is less than $70 when it comes out. That doesn't matter because now other companies will be like, well, Nintendo is doing that, so why can't we do that? Right? So that's insane. That is insane. Slash, thoughts on the price?
Oh, do I want to talk about the price? I mean, it's I'm gonna say everything that you're gonna say. It's a travesty, is what it is.
It's unfortunate. Like, it looks so cool. I'm sorry.
Oh, huh?
No, I was just saying this looks so cool, and all we can talk about is the price. But
yeah,
Donkey Kong burger.
Yeah, the burger.
It was kind of upsetting, man. Zach said this earlier. He messaged me earlier. He was like, "I didn't think it was going to be Nintendo."
Yeah, I didn't. It feels so deflating because it's like Nintendo's the company you would expect to do this the least, you know?
About that. But I didn't think they'd be the first ones to, like...
Yeah, like...
You know.
The one to like, set the precedent. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before earlier, like, they kind of had their moment. Like, I think this would have been I mean, like everyone would be talking about the games and stuff. Now everyone's just talking about the price.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was honestly, I think this was a generational fumble
Yeah.
on their part.
ML, thoughts on the price?
Like, this is one thing that I like lowered my expectations. Like your guys already said, like I could, so it like lowered my hype a lot. So.
Mm-hmm. Now for other things, let's see. Well, here's the UI. Here, let me just here's the UI. So not a high quality picture, but it's the same thing as the Switch one. Here's a look at the eShop. Definitely a lot better. Like, they actually find games that are like for you. It loads.
Cool.
Look at that. It loads. And yeah, like, this definitely is an improvement. God, why is my fucking laptop so loud? But this is definitely an improvement, and it even shows you like videos of the game. Like Nintendo doesn't do that. You have to like click on a video to watch that, so that's cool. So yeah, that's that. Okay, game key cards. This is another big thing that a lot of people were like a bit upset about here. We'll read this. It says, game key cards are different from regular game cards because they don't contain full game data. Instead, the game key card is your key to downloading the full game to your system via the internet. After it's downloaded, you can play the game by inserting the game key card into your system and starting it up like it's like a standard physical game card. Here's what the game key card packaging looks like. So this is basically like when you buy a Switch game, but it says like requires a download, doesn't have a game cartridge inside. This is that, except it does kind of give you a cartridge, right? A lot of people were very upset about this, and they don't quite seem to understand. They think that this is for every game, and they think it's like not like the game's not actually on here. It's on here in the same way that like your PS5 games or your Xbox Series games are not on the disc. You know, they are on the disc, but you have to install a good chunk of them still. Some games are like this. It is worth noting though, I don't think we said this about Cyberpunk, but that game is $70 and the full game is on the cartridge. No game key card. But yeah, thoughts on the game key card, anybody? We'll go start with you, Greg.
I'm not surprised that, it functions like a disc. I was kind of expecting this, and considering, how Switch 2 is only compatible with microSD Express, I already pre-ordered like a 1 terabyte in advance because I'm probably going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not just for all my Switch 1 data, but of course also like all this stuff.
All
And
right.
Switch 1 games were already kind of doing this in a sense as well. Not all of them, but some of them.
Okay. Slash, thoughts on this?
No, obviously not good, but I think it's a lot worse. I mean, it's a lot better than what people are thinking.
Yeah.
If it really isn't going to be with every single thing, then it's not nearly as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Still not good. Digital media, physical media is so very cool and epic.
The thing is though,
But,
like this is kind of normal for like PlayStation, Xbox games are like this. You have to install chunks of them anyways. That's just what it's gonna be like now for some games. But yeah, ML thoughts.
I'm sorry, we're at those. I'm sorry. What again? The card thing.
Yeah.
So
if you don't have anything to say.
I was gonna say the same thing you were gonna say. So yeah.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
Well, going back to prices though, there's like it's not just like the games. Like a Pro controller is like $80. The Joy-Cons by themselves are like $90. A camera is like a lot. Like I think it's like $50, which somehow seems affordable. I love like all the effects here when you scroll down. But
On the website?
yeah.
Yeah, they always do this.
Yeah, I know. But and then you click on the barrel to go back up. That's so cool. So yeah, just it's so expensive. But we got more information about the Nintendo Switch 2 games, which I didn't think we were like. We did talk about this quite a bit. We did talk about what wasn't in the Direct when we talked about this, but so yeah. So new way to play exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2 Jamboree TV. New modes that use mouse controls, microphone, and a compatible USB-C camera sold separately. Players appear within the game via camera play using a compatible USB-C camera sold separately. Game share compatibility for local multiplayer. WQHD, which is 1440p resolution in TV mode, full HD 1080p in tabletop mode and handheld mode. Visually enhanced with improved frame rate. Plus the Nintendo Switch game. Yeah, and you also got Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah.
Basically, everything we already talked about.
Yeah, we already touched on them. Look at that. We got the that's the look at the UI. So yeah, that's basically everything on the Switch 2. There's gonna be more that we hear about as we go along. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna remove that now. We'll find out more. I'm still excited. The pricing of the games, of specifically Mario Kart, right, is definitely like puts a giant damper on my excitement for like everything. Because we're on such a high after that Direct. And then, $80 for Mario Kart. I will never get that. Maybe, let's not get political, but tariffs might have something to do with it, right? Like, that's definitely possible. But, like, even still, like, I just don't understand. So, yeah, Slash is gone. We're about to end anyways. Greg, where can people find you? Anything you'd like to plug coming soon?
So, hey, crazy how, we actually did an episode for this long over a single general topic, but my channel is tagged in the description, and from there are my socials, which includes Instagram, Blue, X, Twitch, and Threads. Well, what do I have coming up? To be, announced. It's a surprise. Okay. But I uploaded a great video, so there's that.
Okay. ML, anything you'd like to plug? Anything you got coming up? Where can people follow you?
You can follow me. You could follow us at You could subscribe to Dumpling Studios. Me and Sash have something coming out soon together. Ooh. Collaboration.
Okay.
And something in May that I'm working on, or like I'm preparing shit for, so stay tuned for that.
All right. And of course, you can follow me, subscribe to me, DPX Solo, follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitch. I'm gonna start streaming more on Twitch. I feel like I say that every time, but and follow my podcast, DPX Talks, for about an hour. Good news, my podcast, not only is it on SoundCloud, which it's been on there for a while, it's now on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on Deezer, which I know that sounds like I'm trying to get you with a Deez Nuts joke, but no, that is a podcasting website called Deezer. It's on Pandora. Basically, anywhere you get your podcasts, my podcast should be there. There's only one episode though that's up, even though there's like almost 70 episodes in total, but there's only one that's on all those websites. But yeah, I don't think Slash will be back, so you can follow him, Captain Caesar, follow everyone else in the Miikcast. Follow Zach, Zachary Attacks, and Zemon's Bruh on Twitch, Zachary Attacks on YouTube, that is, and follow everyone else in the description. I thought we were gonna have more people here, but it's okay. We still got a lot of content coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Bye, guys.